We haven't gone live yet, but we're gonna do that one. That's the one already created. So we're gonna do that one. That I'm gonna do a 30-second, and then I'm gonna do okay, and then it's gonna bring you up first, Sham, and then it's gonna bring Dr. Austin. Bam! This is gorgeous and fun. Okay, so y'all got a few minutes. Is it time to go live?
I had already clicked it.
Oh, you're live, girl.
Yeah, like restarted. That was nice. I always enjoy watching those. Hello, Dr. Austin. How are you today?
Hi, how are you? I'm good, excited, raring to go. How are you?
I'm feeling the same. I'm feeling the same. I'm excited. It's always a joy having you on with me. For everyone joining us, thanks for joining us. I'm Shamonica, and tonight I'm joined by Dr. Camille Austin of the As One Foundation. So we're going to talk to her. The As One Foundation is the Trait Track host for the 10th Annual Warriors Convention. If you don't know Dr. Austin or the As One Foundation, they are the one-stop shop for all things sickle cell trait. Hey, Dr. Austin, how are you today?
Hey, I'm excited. This time of year it's always fever pitched, but we're working behind the scenes. People have no
Yeah.
idea. People have
No,
no idea all that
no,
goes
it's a lot
into
of work.
playing. It is a lot
Yeah,
of work, but
a
it's
lot
gonna
of
be
moving
so
parts.
worth it. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, it's
yeah. And,
always
and
worth
to be
it.
back in person, right?
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. It's always worth it, especially since we are finally back in person, as
Finally,
Dr.
we're back
Austin
in
said.
person.
We're also hybrid. So for
We're also
anyone
hybrid.
who couldn't travel or just didn't find out in time, you can attend virtually as well. The dates for the 10th Annual Warriors Convention is July 18th through the 23rd. The 18th is when virtual begins, and then in person begins on the 19th. Just a reminder for anyone who wants to attend virtually, please register by Friday, July 7th, to receive your registration package in the mail. If you've ever attended a consortium event and our virtual events, you know we send out really cool, nice registration packets. Dr. Austin has had input on those packets before because she's our traits expert. So, like she said, a lot of work goes into making those as well. So, if you want a package, register for by
Register today.
yeah, do it today, but the deadline for virtual to receive a package in your home is July 7th. Registration website is, I'm typing it as I speak, is www.sicklecellconvention.org. If I don't sound it out like that, I can't spell it. But so we'll get back to talking more about convention here shortly. But first, we want your TV. I can hear the TV in the background.
Oh, my TV is too loud.
Yeah, I couldn't hear it earlier. Okay, that's good. I don't hear it now.
Okay,
Oh,
we should be good now.
yeah, I don't hear it now. And I see Etta said hello. Hello, Etta. I didn't see her coming, but I see it now.
Hi,
So
Anna.
hello. Um, so yeah, so Dr. Austin is you are, is it the executive director of the As One Foundation?
I
And
am.
for those who aren't familiar with the As One Foundation, can you tell us a little bit about what is that As One Foundation and what do y'all do?
Well, so the As One Foundation, our mission is to empower families globally, delivering life saving sickle cell education. And that mission comes out of our origin story, that of Devard Darling, who was born an identical twin with his brother Devon Darling in Nassau. Um, their birth was a surprise. Their parents, the doctors, were not expecting twins. Throughout the pregnancy, they had been hearing two hearts beating as one. Unfortunately, the birth of these twins was a beautiful story, but it did turn tragic when they moved to the United States after their parents divorced and grew up in Houston schools, recruited to Florida State University, where they played together as true freshmen on the Florida State football team. And on February 26, 2001, during a conditioning workout, Devon actually died of what is called sickle cell trait exertion, or ECAST, exercise related collapse due to sickle cell trait. That death, we believe, it was a preventable death. And that is why our mission today is to empower families with the type of information that we believe could have saved Devon's life. We focus on the sickle cell trait because that is, again, our origin story. However, we we certainly believe that sickle cell disease and sickle cell trait are not mutually exclusive of each
Yeah,
other, but but exist because of each other.
yeah,
Every disease warrior we know, statistically, all of their offspring will be trait warriors. And
yeah,
certainly, a lot of sickle cell disease births are the result of two trait warrior parents, at least. So that's how we focus on sickle cell trait, but we're a sickle cell and sickle cell trait serving organization.
yeah. I always just from sitting in and hearing you present so many times. I always, when I hear sickle cell trait, I always think of it's not as benign as
Right.
once believed,
Hmm.
and that's what makes the As One Foundation so important because even doctors still tell people, oh, the kid will be okay if they just have trait, and they don't tell them any preventative measures that they
Hmm.
should take.
Hmm.
So what are, like, if parents who are watching this with kids who do sports, or even if an adult or older warrior is watching this with trait, what are steps that all trait warriors should take to prevent sickle cell trait exhaustion, or becoming critically ill due to
Right.
something that's preventable?
They should know the risk factors, and there are certainly maybe more than these three that we highlight, but we highlight elevation, exertion, and dehydration as risk factors for carriers or people living with sickle cell trait. Elevation can happen when flying. Sometimes we hear a lot about trait warriors having splenic infarction when they fly, or even blood clotting. That kind of thing can happen with elevation. Exertion, obviously, we're talking about that athletic experience, but not just. Don't just think sports. You can think cheerleading. You can think
Yeah,
dance. On a college campus, you can
physical
think pledging a sorority or fraternity. Any type of physical rigor,
or
uh,
band.
or marching band, exactly. So that exertion is also a risk factor. And dehydration, which is one that's a risk factor for any and all of us, trait or not, disease or not. Dehydration is just not the way that you want to go throughout life. It's really important for just natural body function, good skin, good hair. But when you think about sickle cell and the, why those blood vessels, those blood cells need uh, water to keep those blood cells nice and plump and flowing smoothly through the veins and arteries, hydration is super important for our warriors and our trait warriors. Those risk factors can be combated by what we call protective factors. And those protective factors we, spell out that you should go from rest to exertion gradually. You should not just take the field and just go at your full pace or get on that treadmill and go, put it on 10 and just start. You can't push through that wall. You really need to take it gradually, or we call that warm up. You also need to hydrate, and we say hydrate before, during, and after physical exertion. And then you need to consume half your body weight in ounces of water every single day to avoid dehydration. And this is where I always ask, if you have had half your body weight in ounces of water yesterday, please raise your hand. And nobody raises their hand because most of us are not practicing proper hydration, but it's so important for our warriors. It's so important for our trait warriors to hydrate, or what we call drink up. Half your body weight in ounces of water per day, and drink before, during, and after physical exertion. And then rest up is what we certainly believe is that one of our little furry friends right there? um, Rest up is what could have saved Devon's life. He was in a conditioning workout where he was going through, I think this was the 62nd of 61st of 62 workouts that they had that day. And that workout is usually prolonged physical rigor where you're running for 30 minutes straight, no breaks. Not a game where you have four downs and you have timeouts and you have breaks in between each down. You see the trainers run into the field and offer water. No, this is a conditioning workout where you're just going straight physical exertion, 30 minutes, 45 minutes. In basketball, there's an exercise that they refer to as suicides. Why would they call it a suicide? It's a reason. But that pushing through that wall, going without a break, going without recovery is dangerous. So the protection is recovery. When you see athletes put their hands on their hips or take a knee or raise their hands above their head, in the cobra pose, opening up your lungs, all of those are examples of recovery. So in short, we say warm up, drink up, rest up. Warm up, drink up, rest up. That's for our little ones
Yeah,
all the way up
all
to
the way.
our seasoned warriors. Everyone can practice warm up, drink up, rest up. And we certainly believe a good practice of that can prevent the risk factors.
Yes, I agree. And it is very easy to remember. And just knowing that has helped me as a mom for Rory because she's always played a sport. And um, they always look at me like I'm crazy when I stress the fact that she needs to drink water and stuff. But I was like, no, it's serious. And I always offer, I can teach a class on it if y'all want me to.
Yeah. Yeah, you got to
because
be that mom. Shamonica, I tell my parents all the time, please be that mom. Please be
yeah,
that dad. Oh, here comes that mom. Okay, but that would have saved Devon's life. If and
yeah.
we just firmly believe that. So, be that mom and save Rory's life.
Well, I don't mind her basketball coach. It was me and what other mom we would tell our kids to come get water anyway because he was the water is for the weak type of coach, and it's just like no, 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 no. So, and eventually he made an announcement. It was like your kids need water. They just need to ask, but you don't need to pull them out while I'm trying to train them. But it's just like it's not important to you, coach. So that's something I also share with. I've had parents reach out to me about sickle cell traits. Of course, there's always going to be parents to ask about sickle cell, but I've had people ask about sickle cell trait, and I always tell them that those things, and I send them the As One Foundation's information, because I'm like, this will teach you everything that I can't. So when I'm not hydrating, I was like, man, I'm letting Dr. Austin down. So that's why I made sure to go grab water before we
Good for
started.
you. Good for you.
And I love how you always stress the importance of hydration. And I'm always shocked when you say we should be drinking the amount that we should drink. And I don't think I ever hit that mark. I'm
Come
just being
on.
honest.
Come on, Shamonica. You gotta get it. I mean, don't tell us how much you weigh, but half your body weight in ounces of water a day. I'll just tell y'all, I have to drink 7 of these, if you can see it, a day. That's the and you just so and the point to that is you're not drinking it all in one setting. You should be able to take one down as soon as you wake up in the morning. And yes, you're going to the bathroom a lot, but just think about what it's doing for your skin, for your blood cells, for and there's so many parts of our body. I mean, we are made up of mostly water. That must mean, that demonstrates the importance of water for us when we're made up. We're mostly water. So as we lose it, we got to put it back. And having water in our bodies increases our function level. And even those parts of us that are working or that are trying to work on our behalf, like batting your eye and breathing, you're not telling yourself to breathe, but your body and all the systems on the inside, that those veins that's going down, those arteries that are coming up, that whole process is assisted by good hydration. And the body knows exactly what to do with water. It does not know what to do with some of these chemicals that we put into ourselves. I can't. My Facebook memory showed me this post I shared about butter and margarine, and how ants go to butter but won't even touch margarine, because the claim is that it's just fake food, and even the ants won't touch fake food. The body doesn't know what to do with fake food, but the body knows exactly what to do with water, and your water keeps you highly, efficient, good flow, good movement. It helps our muscles, it helps our hair, our nails, and untold things. So it's important just for baseline, but let alone when we have sickle cell and sickle cell trait that can, with the absence of water, cause that lack of oxygen, which the water is also helping to, push through, um, causes those cells to constrict and get sticky. And I always think of a grape, and when a grape shrinks down to a raisin, and how they stick together in the box, that potentially is what's happening in your veins, in your arteries. And um, that's what causes those blockages that create
Yeah.
that pain, the crisis, and so on. And unfortunately, that also can take place in our trait warriors as well.
Yeah, and I think that's just something so many trade warriors don't know. So
Right.
I'm hoping that we reach at least, 5 new people with this
Yeah.
video.
Hey, I'll take it.
Um,
I'll take it.
or people, oh, share this video. If you're watching, share it. Share this with the people around you, because as you said earlier, you really can't have a conversation about sickle cell without sickle cell trait. And the reality is, there's more people walking around with traits than there is with sickle cell. And a lot of those people aren't aware that they have traits until they have the kid with sickle cell.
Mhm.
So that's why, I feel, and of course, you and everyone at the As One Foundation feel that trait awareness is just as critical as sickle cell awareness, because that is one way we can combat people being born unknowingly with sickle cell.
And that's
Um,
the magic word. We're not about eugenics. We're not about preventing
yeah,
anybody from being here. But what a parent wants to know. They need to have
yeah.
that information, and not be
It,
caught off
so they can
guard.
make an informed decision and
Informed
know
decision making.
and prep for this life, because um, can you? Is my TV loud now?
It's not loud. I do hear it, but it's not loud.
Okay. But just saying, I think it would be a lot better if parents knew that their child's this possibility we can have sickle cell so they can prep for it, they can
Hmm.
educate themselves for it, and it's not just a bombshell.
Yeah.
Because what I hear from our caregivers is that when you find out unknowingly, it just feels like a bombshell and you feel like you purposely wronged your child. So that's
Yeah.
why we say we don't want people unknowingly having children with sickle
Yeah.
cell. But and I also shared, if my mom knew I would have sickle cell before she had me, I would want her to still have me because I've had a good life. But there are some parents who might not want to have a child with sickle cell, but they need to know. So
And power of
that's one
knowledge
of the,
is huge.
yeah, it's huge. And like you said, I don't want anyone to ever think we don't want people
Right.
with sickle cell to be here because the theme of this year's convention is sickle cell excellence. People
Yeah.
with sickle cell, as Dr. Bailey says, are all things. We are
Hmm.
doctors, we are lawyers, we are parents, we're wives. If someone can do it, somebody with sickle cell is doing it. So,
Absolutely. Absolutely.
um, but speaking of convention and trade track, what are some things for people who register? Remember, registration is open.
Yes.
Go ahead and get that done. For people who register and they add the trade track to their lineup, what are some things they can expect to experience or learn or, to look forward to coming from trade track?
Well, so I just have to say, our first year doing the trait track was the last time we were in person in 2019. And we are so excited to, haven't missed a beat. We kept it going in the virtual space. Sickle cell don't stop, so we couldn't stop. But we're so excited to be not only back in person, but back in the hometown for As One Foundation in Houston, Texas. So the trait track, we're gonna definitely talk about, the benign claims about sickle cell, but we're going to speak from the perspective of research. We're talking about research, advocacy, all of the stuff that's happening in the legislature, in the research about sickle cell trait. We're also going to talk about the kidney connection. There is a connection, a kidney connection to trait that a lot of people are not aware of. So we're going to give that talk and really delve deeply into a rare cancer that can affect the kidneys of our trait warriors, and we're bringing the sickle cell trait athlete. We're going to address the sickle cell trait athlete because it is true that when sickle cell trait, the majority of the time that it's problematic is when that exertion enters the picture. So uh, we're not saying you cannot be physically
Yeah.
active with sickle cell trait, but we want to introduce you to some pro athletes that have sickle cell trait, that know their bodies and have had success in the professional arena, to tell you their stories. And we're going to hear from them as well as their parents.
My husband in the background talking about Ryan Davis, Super Bowl champion.
Ryan,
Thanks,
I think he
honey.
meant Ryan Clark, right?
Ryan Clark,
Yes,
he is
Ryan.
dipping.
Look, Ryan, if you hear me, we are reaching out to you, but we have Gino Atkins and his mother are going to talk to us. Gino Atkins played for Lord, I'm about to is the Bengals, and of course our founder Devar Darling, who was drafted to the Baltimore Ravens. He played for the Ravens, the Kansas City Chiefs, and he retired as a Houston Texan. And maybe a surprise or two. We also have a gentleman who did not make it to the professional ranks, but um, was an athlete that experienced a lot of trouble as a collegiate athlete, accused of being lazy, all of those things. But they didn't understand what the sickle cell trait was doing in his blood. And he has now, I mean, he's a stellar, specimen of a man, and he calls himself Captain Plant It. He and he's going to tell us his story about he says he's healed his trait but he's managed it through health and sunbathing and things like that.
Oh,
Lance Curse, the cousin to Javon Curse. So we got some exciting things, and unfortunately, there is a downside. We're going to talk about sickle cell trait and trauma, and sickle cell trait and grief, because our caregivers, most of our caregivers, are also trait warriors, and they've
yeah.
lost their children. They've lost their warrior children. They've lost trait warrior children,
Spouses.
and that whole mental health piece of that, is important even in the trait realm. So we're trying to give you a nice
Get it in
rounded
all angles.
appreciate all things, um,
Yeah.
and try to meet the needs and answer some questions and have some really good discussions.
Yeah, and that's just what you can expect from just the trait track
That's just
alone
the trait track, yeah.
at the 10th annual Warriors Convention. In addition to the trait track, we will have the children's track again and young adult and the men's track. So the general track is where we talk about all other things, curative therapies, women issues, pain, what's in the pipeline, general stuff. But for the specific, just really focused education, that's where the tracks come in. And I think we have great success with our tracks, and we get a lot of positive reception. Um, and I know that the men's track is really popular. The men have a space where they can express themselves openly, and the children's track is fun.
Yeah,
Rory, my
yeah.
both of my kids are coming, so
Oh, girl, I'm so excited to see people. Oh my gosh, I haven't seen
yeah.
you. I haven't seen you since 2019.
Yeah, so the last in-person event I went to was FSCDR last year, not this year. So if you wasn't at that, we
Well, my
haven't
first
seen
time,
each
no,
other since.
no, no. My first time at FSCDR was this year. So
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
you
So
became a
it's
whole wife and a whole mother of a son since I last saw you.
yeah, yeah, a lot's changed. But
Hmm.
just for a moment to just talk about more things happening at convention. And one of the things that we're really excited about is the homecoming.
Yes.
And I'm sure people are like, what do y'all mean by homecoming? If you've gone to college or specifically an HBCU, homecoming is a big deal. Typically, that's when alumni return to their school. But for us, we are returning as warriors,
Yes.
returning to the convention. It's our 10th convention, so it's a big celebration. And when you get there on the day of homecoming, I think it's that Wednesday, right?
I think the
The
represent day is Thursday, though.
Thursday. Don't quote me, but on homecoming day, if you are attending, we ask that you rep your school, especially if you went to an HBCU. But even if you didn't go to an HBCU, put on your school and rep your school, or put on some sickle cell gear if you didn't go that route and don't have a school to represent. You can always represent Team Sickle Cell. So that's something I'm excited about. What's your favorite thing about attending homecoming? Because
Oh
we
my
all
gosh.
know the school that is near and dear to your heart.
Yes,
So
and I'm trying to. I don't have my orange watch on. I put
this is my
my.
first time seeing you in
I
something
know.
not orange.
I know. I wanted to put my blood condition, not black condition, shirt on for this
I
live.
like that shirt.
So, and these will be available at the convention. But I don't have on anything orange right now. But I do have my laptop cover. Not too far, not too far from me. But homecoming, look, we have already started the countdown to our homecoming. But this homecoming, where people can represent their state, and there's so much pride, Texas pride. So I expect
Yeah,
people to represent their state, their sorority, their fraternity, their crib, as we say. Homecoming for us is, it's an opportunity to flex a little bit, show
yeah,
people, especially when you've gotten a little age behind you, and you bought that house, you bought that car, you got the family. Depending, some people bring their families, some people leave the family home and just
Yeah, some
come
people
in.
want to have a good time.
Yes, right, right. But it's the food, convocation. Convocation is like a mini, church service where the band plays, the coaches introduce the teams. Of course, it's the football game, the coronation, and there's, the consortium just does so wonderful with the prom and the graduation and
Yeah,
the reunion of and this year with the seasoned warriors. Our
the
homecomings, we're
golden one.
always commemorating like the 10th, the 20th, the 30th, the 40th, the 50th graduation class years. So we got seasoned warriors that we're going to be celebrating all of the excellence and what they all represent. Of course, food and giving back. So just and wherever you post up, it's a party. I mean, it's just
Yeah.
wherever the
So that
tailgating. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
So that's our goal with homecoming. It's just to have a big party with
yeah,
the our warrior family during
yeah.
convention. So that's, register. You can't enjoy it if you don't register.
Gotta be
And
there.
again, if you want to attend virtually and you want to receive the package with the shirt and everything else that we put in those packages, please register by Friday, not February, Friday, July 7th. In person people, if you're coming to Houston, your registration deadline is no deadline. Just register and make your travel arrangements. So that is exciting. And other than homecoming, the other fun events, Dr. Austin said a few of them. One of the ones everyone is always excited about is prom.
Yeah.
And this year is a royal ball. A royal ball, and it's always also a award ceremony. And this year it's a fundraising event as well. And the fundraising is for um, our emergency response committee. That is our committee that assists warrior families
Mhm.
with resources, with real life resources, grocery assistance, rental assistance, utility assistance, devices. This is to fund that because that comes directly from consortium funds, and we got to raise money
Right.
to continue to help all of the families that we help each year. um, Dr. Bailey and finance, we hate having to turn anyone down who's in
Yeah.
need of help. So come on to the prom, come to the Royal Ball. If you register, one ticket to the ball is included, but we have rates for couples. We have where you can get a table. If you can't make it, but you want to pay for somebody else, you can do that. We just, and it's always fun. The last one was so much fun. I can't wait to see how people show up in their royalty
I
themes this year.
know. I'm so excited. Look, Royal Ball. So there's Black Panther, there's Bridgerton, there's however you
Yeah.
express your royalty. Oh, and I just
I want
love a
I want someone
party.
to do some hip hop royalty.
Like Queen Latifah or something.
Yeah, like, cause that's the type of royalty too. I'm
It
not gonna do
sure is.
it. I have to look the part for staff and everything. But I feel like it's some stylish people out there that
Yeah.
might could pull off hip hop royalty. Blaze, if you watch this,
Ah,
um,
get
but
well soon, Blaze.
it's so many ways you can be royal,
Right,
or it's
right.
just what royalty looks to you. You don't
Yeah,
have to
yeah.
put on the huge Bergerton dress and everything, but you want to look nice and enjoy yourself, and we can't wait to see everyone. And a
Royal
big part
Ball.
of prom is the king and queen. We
Mhm.
crown a king and queen, and that is an initiative that started through the Beauty and Sickle Cell, Jasmine Rivera. For those of you who aren't familiar with Jasmine, she was on staff here at the consortium as well as a passionate sickle cell advocate who unfortunately passed away, but her legacy lives on as the Jasmine Rivera's Beauty Within Sickle Cell. This is what we do our makeup and advocacy through, but it's also what the king and queen is crowned through. And Miss Maria, Jasmine's mom, who's also on staff, she personally picks an awardee for an award, and a king and queen is crowned at prom. So
Yeah.
one of, as Etta said, I don't know what to wear. Just girl, I looked on Shein. If you need a dress and you
Oh,
don't want to spend a
yes.
lot,
Very
just look
affordable.
on Shein.
Hmm.
My dress was less than $50,
Yeah.
so you can't really beat that. So whatever you want that you feel like you look good in, fellas, last year, not last year, 2019,
2019. Yes.
everyone looked so beautiful. We had so much fun.
Yeah.
Last year was 2019 was Warriors Around the World, and
Yeah.
you did the Egyptian look.
Yes. I had
You
my
had the
little,
headpiece and
yes,
everything.
Queen of
I was,
Sheba.
yeah, I was subtle and did Paris.
Who was black, by the way?
Um, but yeah, so, and then another event we are excited about for in-person attendees is the health fair that is happening. And I think you could tell us more about the health fair, right?
So, like I said, the consortium does it big. They think of everything. They try to figure out how to what's the water story? Okay, that's an inside joke. But anyway, it what Dr. Bailey thinks big, and the consortium comes right through with helping realize her thoughts. And um, when the Warriors Convention is in person, the consortium does a community service project within that city, and so the As One Foundation is so excited to co-host the Warriors Convention, and also be the lead community-based organization in planning this health fair slash school supply slash backpack drive. We have over 1,000 backpacks that we're going to be filling and giving away at this health fair. We're planning to have representatives of all of the various health screenings, from vaccinations to sickle cell screenings, diabetes screenings, and so on, as well as food trucks, and just a festive day on Sunday at the Fifth Ward, right in the community, multi-service center. We'll have a little passport for people to go around to each table and have their card stamped, and then they can collect their backpack from 12 to 4 p.m. Central Standard Time at the Fifth Ward Multi-Service Center. You can sign up. There is if you go to the registration link, sicklecellconvention.org/exhibit, our food truck vendors can sign up. If you want to be a vendor, at a table vendor, each booth will get two tables and a chair, two chairs and a table, that you can come and bring your information to raise awareness about the health concerns of our young people and their families. And it's going to be a day of service for any of our volunteers. There's a volunteer link. Everything is covered. You just got to sign up. And we know so that we know that you're coming, and help us along with our other co-host organizations, the Urban League, uh, the Houston Health Department,
Yeah.
and powered by the consortium. This is the first of its kind, but I'm certainly won't be the last one for the consortium to do at their in-person events.
Yeah, and it's free, so
It
that's
is free.
amazing thing
Yes,
about it.
yes,
And as you said, Dr. Bailey said, it's always our goal to leave the city with something, not just come and have fun, but we want to leave it with
exactly.
with some good. I know in 2019 we did baskets for homeless people. So we always want to do something for the community. And this is right here in the heart of Houston in Fifth
Hmm.
Ward. reaching back and giving back to the community. So even if you don't have sickle cell, if you live in Houston and you're in the area, please come. That's we want to come. That's who it's planned for. And if you are attending convention and would like to volunteer, we need you as well, volunteers. Or if you are watching this and you're like, I live in Houston and I
Hmm.
don't have nothing planned for that day, maybe I can come lend a hand.
Oh,
We need to.
and you can also help buy supplies. We have an Amazon shopping list. Um,
Do you have that link? I don't have that link.
Let me see. Yes, yes, I
And
do.
that's an easy way to help out.
Yes,
Just
it
buy some
is.
pencils, some crayons, some paper, some construction paper. I'm not buying school supplies this year because Rory has so many left over. I'm not doing it this year.
I am trying to get that link for you, Shamonica. Oh, and I have so many tabs open on my screen. I'm trying to
I
find my
think
way
that's
back to.
all of us
Oh
with the
Lord.
tabs and everything. But even if right now, I can always add the link a little later and just have it updated so everyone can see it. So, but yeah, so that's the health fair that's happening on July 23rd, the last day of convention. That's how we will wrap convention and it will be over. Um, and in addition to the prom and the homecoming, we also have a welcome reception, and during that welcome reception, it's very casual. So no need to be super dressed up. Just come as you are. Meet the people who are attending. Get to know people. Do some networking, and that's on Tuesday. On Tuesday is the reception, and on Wednesday we have the family game night, hosted by the DFW Sickle Cell Kids crew. She's also helping with the next gen kiddos. Let me pull up
Jamie,
that flyer.
yeah.
Yeah, Jamie Roque and her family. They live here in Dallas with me, and her family will all be there. So next gen focuses on the 11 to 15-year olds. The children's are our babies. The uh, 10 and under are our kids. Next gen are our adolescents, from 11 to 15, and then 16 and older will be young adults. And so on Wednesday night, that is the family game night. We have some oversized game boards to play and other games, and it's just a fun night for the kids to get to know each other, parents get to know each other, and just something to do. Because another goal is it's hot in Texas, especially Houston. So of course there are going to be warriors who want to get out and see the city, but if you don't want to get out, there's something every night at the hotel. So the first night is the reception, the second night is this family game night, and the third night is the homecoming, and then prom, and then the health fair. So for game night, as another casual night, come as you are and have fun. Get your competitive juices flowing,
Yeah.
and then come turn up and rep your school, rep your city, rep Team Sickle Cell for the homecoming on Thursday, and then go out with a bang at the Royal Ball, and then for those who are still there with us for the health fair on Sunday. One second.
That little trait warrior is awake. I just put the link to the shopping list in the chat. Hopefully, you can click on that. Whether you're able to attend or not, you still have time to buy something on the list. It has the quantities that we need, what we already have, and what's already been purchased. But please feel free to click that list. We have a number of items that are needed, and these will go to our sickle cell warriors as well as just children from the community backpacks hopefully filled with supplies. They'll get, access to a lot of health vendors, them and their families, possibly even screened. So hopefully that link is working for you. I just put it down in the chat on, and that's on Sunday, beginning at 12 o'clock Central Time, going until 4 o'clock. It's Sunday Fun Day in Houston, which is a really big thing. But we're going to give you a three prong punch with the health fair, the school supply, and the backpack drive. So hopefully that link works for you. You can share it. Share it. It's if anybody else wants to give back as well.
They said they don't see it. I don't know if they posted to Face. Can
Um.
you send it to the private chat so I can
Okay.
copy
Yeah,
it
I
off?
put it in the comments, but I will do it
Yeah.
in the private chat right
It's
now.
not letting me copy the comments.
Okay. Did you
Okay,
get it? I just
here we
okay.
go.
All
Yeah.
right.
So I'm about to share, y'all. I got you. I got you.
Yeah.
Do. And hello, Carla.
Oh yeah. Hi Carla. Hi Etta.
All right.
All
Now
right.
that
Yes,
you were
yes,
able
yes.
to press it, I shared it. So just to wrap up, we are all excited about the 10th Annual Warriors Convention. As I said, this year's theme is sickle cell excellence. So we will be highlighting sickle cell excellence in all the ways that warriors are excellent. We are excited that Dr. Austin and her team at the As One Foundation is a co-host again this year, and will be coordinating everything for the trait track. Shout out to our other co-hosts, which are the Houston Sickle Cell Collaborative, the Carol's Promise Sickle Cell Foundation, the Mark Thomas Foundation, Sickle Cell Association of Texas. That one is a mouthful. The DFW Kids, DFW Sickle Cell Kids Crew, and the Chris Johnson Foundation. All of these organizations do amazing work in their communities and for sickle cell warriors and trait warriors. And we are all in for a great time. So please, if you want to experience this great hybrid event, please register as soon as possible. Today is best, because why put off today?
What you can do
Why put
today?
off tomorrow what you
What you
can
can
do
do?
today?
Yep.
And if you are attending virtually, please get it done by Friday, July 7th, to get your registration packet. You can register after the 7th, but don't expect to get your package on time for a convention. In person, go ahead and register. Our Golden Warrior experience is for warriors 55 and older. If you can, all register as well as soon as possible so we can help with your travel and your hotel. And there's things planned once you get there so that you all can have an experience to celebrate our golden warriors. I always say there's so much to learn from the
Yeah.
warriors that have been here longer. They've seen things we haven't seen, and it's so much knowledge there with them. So we
Yeah.
want y'all to come out, come celebrate. See, Etta said yes, I'm a golden warrior. So, and I know Terrell, she sees this, she's so excited, and I
Yeah.
hope she's feeling better so that she can make it and enjoy convention. And we just look forward to seeing everyone, all ages, register. This is a family event. Like I said, I'm bringing my whole family, from the baby to the husband to my mama to the preteen. We're all
Yay. Yay.
we can't wait to see you, Dr. Austin. We can't wait to see everyone who
Likewise.
registered. So thank you so much, Dr. Austin, for joining me tonight and sharing about the As One Foundation and what we can expect during Trait Track. Does that include 55 plus trait warriors? That is a good question.
I would say yes. You can. I would say choose
But
choose the
but
trade track
Carla,
or the golden experience.
yeah, but I'll let you know for sure, and I will let everyone know for sure. if that includes Trade Warriors. I just don't know off the top of my head. Um, but that's a good question. I'll let you know, Carla,
Really good.
because that might be something. But I would say yes too, because Trade Warriors are included in the registration fee, the discounted. Oh, and that is $25 registration fee to enjoy this conference. You are getting your money's worth. That is no code to make that fee go away. It's
Right.
$25. What we have helped with is lodging. That was the scholarship this year. It brought the price from $350 to $25. So virtually or in person has to
At
pay
the
that.
JW Marriott Galleria, no less.
In downtown Houston,
Yes, yes.
that's one of my favorite things. We never stay at bad hotels.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that's always something to look forward to. So y'all get packed, get rested, get hydrated, and join us in person or virtually for the 10th Annual Warriors Convention, July 18th through the 23rd. Again, that website is www.sicklecellconvention.org. Check the comments for all the other information that was shared during tonight's discussion. And thank you again, Dr. Austin, for joining us. This has been Community Conversations with Shamonica, and I can't wait to see you all next week.